Should we repeat? No, I think we're fine. Okay, the minutes of the February 9th meeting in your packet. Are there any corrections or additions? Hearing none, is there a motion to approve?
I move to approve the minutes.
Motion by Bruce, is there a second?
I'll second that.
Second by Pat, thank you. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carried without dissent. Okay, guys, regular meeting agenda today to consider, number one on your list is to consider a request to reduce the front yard setbacks for rural resident zone from 40 feet to 25 feet located at 2328 9th Street East. Who's here to speak for that? Would you come up to the podium and give us your name and all your details and what kind of hardships you're suffering for that, okay?
I guess my name is Brad Rothschiller. I guess I live across town here. We have one acre lot, and I want to build a shop, but I don't want to take up a bunch of my front yard. So, I guess the 40 feet thing puts me quite a ways into the yard, where if I had the 25, I could push it over by my tree rows and kind of keep it tucked in the corner. I guess I talked to all the neighbors, and them seem to mind. They'll actually have said you should build a bigger shop, but I don't want to do that. So.
Okay, is this having sewer and water in it?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yep.
so
Yep,
you
both
got
water and sewer, yeah.
you've already got that in place.
Lined up anyway, yeah. Not done, but lined up.
Okay, okay.
So.
Questions for?
I did get his property owner right to the east of Brad did stop in. He actually stated that his house back prior to what he explained as being part of the city, he's at 25 feet from the north and 25 feet from the east as setbacks on his main or the primary structure.
Okay.
And he didn't have any issues with what Brad wanted to do.
What direction was that neighbor?
Right to the east.
To the east? Okay.
Directly to the east.
That was the only
So he's
correspondence I've had with any of the neighbors.
okay, and he was definitely in favor of
Yes.
allowing this. Okay. Questions by other directors? Okay. Hearing none, is there a motion to permit or deny the request? Is there anyone here to speak for or against? I guess I should do that.
I'm for.
That's four, okay.
I move to approve the variance.
Bruce moves to approve the variance, second by Pat. Any further discussion? Hearing none. Bruce?
Aye.
Pat?
Aye.
Trevor?
Aye.
And I'll vote aye. Looks like a really nice neighborhood and build a nice shop there.
Oh yeah, she'll match the house.
Okay, very good.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming. Next on the list, to consider a request to exceed detached structure square footage at 1200 25th Avenue East. And you are here to give us the complete details.
Yeah, my name's Randy Ulmer, and this is my wife Artis. We own the 8 acres behind Parkway, back up tucked against the interstate back there. And we started an RV park to help influx of people coming in and out from the oil field. And due to starting that, we need more storage. With the equipment and everything else that we've had to buy and stuff, it's taken our personal space away that we used to have for personal storage. So the hardship is that I have brand new equipment and everything, and it's sitting outside, and the environment and the mice and stuff are getting into it and ruining my equipment and stuff, and I need someplace where I can put them to where the animals and critters can't get to it. And we've tossed this around. We live in a basement structure home. We have no storage for personal belongings in that. We have to take everything to outside buildings and store. And the dirt floors and stuff that are in the outdoor buildings that are there don't keep the mice and the rodents out. So by building this structure, I can move a lot of my personal belongings up into the storage and then use what now is what I consider my shop, where I work and tinker on my 65 Oldsmobiles for storage of my tractors and stuff, cause it's got 14-foot doors and stuff, where this building that I wanna put up is only gonna have 8-foot doors, that I wanna move my personal belongings up into. So, and my
That-
wife came up with this idea, so it's all, you know, and I need the space. My cars are getting ruined from the mice and stuff because I have to set them outside to get into the shop to work on my tractors and stuff, so.
That would also give us the opportunity to tear down the old barn that's there, because we use that for storage. You know, has dirt floor, you know, it's not good really for anything in there. We have 3 sheds that we use outside also, you know, for yard equipment and garden tools and everything, and one is actually for rummage sale stuff, because I don't have any room in the house to put it, so. Really, that's kind of what we're up against. With, you know, with the business, we've pretty much lost our space.
Okay. Do all the vehicles that are kind of east of your home out there, do they all belong to you?
No. A lot of them belong to the people that are living in the RV park. They have no place. I give them 2 parking spots. If they have any overrun, we make them park them down to the east, because I don't wanna clutter the road and stuff for the fire department. I've talked with Bob Seabuck and Mark Selly and that, and we have it so that they can come in either way with their fire trucks and stuff, and if I allow them to have more than 2 vehicles, then it's clutter. So we're trying to get rid of all that clutter and everything, and then some of the RVs and stuff that are all parked over there were people who left in the fall because they didn't want to winter here, and they were supposed to be coming back in the spring. So their intentions were they were gonna come back and go back on the lot. Well, some of them haven't come back because you know what's happening, so now I have to find out what I'm gonna do with these RVs that are in storage, because some of these people aren't returning calls and stuff, so they're abandoning them more or less. We can't get ahold of them, so I have to get rid of all this stuff. So we have
want it
another
gone.
headache going on too, so, but to keep our personal stuff from our business stuff, that's why we wanna build this building, so we can separate, and for tax purposes and everything else, I can't write off a shop I'm using for personal business too, as well as business. So this RV park thing has taken off, and all we tried to do is, we had the old Morningside Trailer Court, and we've had so many people request places to park RVs that we've taken that on, and we've improved that property. And our property taxes and everything have gone way up like everybody else's, so we're just trying to accommodate, and we're more than willing to pay our share of property taxes and everything, and that's, you know, improvements to our property by putting this building up too, for storage. I mean,
How many acres did you say you had there?
it's
It's
7.96 or something,
No.
like, he's got the
Okay.
exact
I
numbers.
think 7.14, isn't it, something like that?
Okay, the variance is specific to the rural residential. Right now, we're combining both the MH and the rural residential. The board should take that in consideration. There is multiple buildings, as you see by whether the email, I guess I'll pass this back, for consideration. Proposed buildings to take down, we should make that a note, depending on how you vote on this, what comes down, what goes up. The use of a new building should be the use for that rural residential, not that of the mobile home park. Can we get everybody to look at this? Show us what's going on? Yes.
And that's our proposal, is to use this for personal, and then use the shop for business, to separate the two.
I think that's in our packet.
Yeah, okay.
This picture, I didn't see that in our packet.
That was just today.
Well, it was today's.
Oh,
it
oh,
is
okay.
today.
We didn't have that over the weekend.
And I have measurements between the home and the pump shed that's there, and the layout, there's like 190 feet.
So your 3 sheds would actually probably come down,
Yep,
Yeah, plus the barn.
plus the barn,
plus the barn.
yep. Because I can't keep the rodents out of them anyhow, so there's no sense in trying to store something in the old horse barn,
Mm-hmm.
And they leak.
and they leak, the rust leak and everything, and it's just too much maintenance.
So the shop on the south side of that street is yours as well?
Yes, that's considered the personal property right now that we're using for personal storage and stuff, but
And business.
But that's what we wanna turn into our business storage and then build this new for personal. Cause I got tractors and riding lawnmowers and all that stuff to store, weed eaters and everything right now is being stored in these little buildings and outside. I bought a brand new tractor back in December and it's been sitting outside ever since. I mean, get $35,000-$40,000 involved in a tractor and it sits outside. It's not good. And all the attachments and everything.
So really, we'd have about 3,100 square foot of garage on that one lot there, right? Is that right? 3,300.
I tried to decipher exactly what the variance should be for, but with the owners here, we really have to be specific of what comes down. It's marked out on that sheet there, but still, as far as the square footage is, I believe as far as whatever you vote on, that should be specific.
So the square footage that you have here, Leonard, does that include removing the sheds that are on here? Because we're talking about the section north of the road here, right?
Actually, the 2.9 actually includes that on the south
Oh, it does?
portion.
Oh,
The part
okay.
for the trailer park is actually to the west of
Right.
the
Yeah,
primary
when
structure.
you come up
So
25th.
things are getting blended here. The site plan depicts the 2.9. It doesn't include the mobile home park.
Okay.
So I want to make that clear. I know it's going to be hard to say what's personal, what's for the park. If this is for the park, it should be on the other acreage.
Yeah,
If you Google map it, it gives a better view of what we're doing.
But it's still specific. The 2.9 is a residential portion, and this new building would be on that. So as far as a use for the park, variance would be for personal use, not that for a business.
So the 2.1 acres includes this semi-triangle here.
Yes,
Okay, and the road that's on, that splits that lot,
that's a
That-
private.
that's a private road, okay.
other questions, Director?
Any complaints from the neighbors?
I have not received any correspondence from any of the neighbors.
Our closest neighbor's like almost a quarter mile away. It'd be Don there. If you look at the aerial views, like I got a Google map aerial picture. We've got a ditch, drainage ditch and stuff in south of us.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to develop it, but when we got involved, we haven't, there was a subdivision supposed to go on it and stuff, and it never did pass or never did go in.
You guys
Right.
certainly have packed them in there, haven't you?
Yeah, like I said, by the demand, you know, and once we go back to trailer houses, when all the RVs leave, 60-foot trailer house is the biggest trailer house we're gonna be able to put in any one of them lots, because it was built back in the 70s, and that was, a 65-foot trailer was a big trailer. So the way it's set up, you know, going down the road, it's gonna be smaller. Everything's gonna have to be older, smaller, or a special ordered trailer house to go in there when we go back to trailer houses. So
Eliminate some of them and,
So,
Gonna be eliminating a lot of lots. Right now, we have 2 RVs to a lot, because when we put the sewer and all the water and everything, we couldn't park anything on top of the trenches because everything settles. So by demand, we ended up putting 2 RVs to a sewer into a water, because RVs don't use a whole lot of sewer and a whole lot of water, so that's why it looks really crammed and stuff like that. But we're just trying to help the situation of the shortage of homes and stuff. And this is the mess we're getting ourselves into. But
So-
it's been good.
Bruce?
question, in a rural, notifying neighbors in the rural, how big a circle do you go?
Within the city, whatever touches your property, it's not where the building is.
Mhm.
Where his property line, it still goes out the same as it would in the city.
Which is
300
how
feet.
far? 300 feet? So really no notices went out then, probably?
No, anything that touches his property, the property line. So there are adjacent property owners,
Oh,
so
I
yes.
gotcha, okay.
I haven't had any complaints from my neighbors.
Okay, good.
And no call-ins? Anyone else heard of anything? No one else? Further questions? Comments?
I have one comment.
Leonard?
Depending on the way the board votes on this, if it's in favor of I believe a timeline should be as far as the other structures that are to come down. I would state that after the new buildings, within a month or so of completion of a new structure. So if you are currently housing vehicles in an existing structure, that they're allowed to move them into the existing comes down.
That'll happen probably sooner than that.
I have a question. Would that require, like, would this garage require a occupancy certificate, or how would we set the completion for the city?
A building permit would be generated and,
So like after final inspection?
yes.
Okay.
There'll be no water or sewer or anything in it, so.
Mm-mm.
No water and sewer in that?
No.
Okay, just strictly. Is this heated, heated?
I'll probably heat one bay, maybe, I'm not sure yet, depends. But it'll all be electrical.
Further questions? Okay, we ready to make a decision? Okay. Who would like to make a motion?
Mr. Chairman,
Trevor?
I would make a motion to approve the request as written with the, do we put the condition in the motion? With the condition that the 3 sheds and the tin roofed barn, as shown on the drawing, are removed within 30 days of final inspection on the proposed garage.
Within 30 days?
Within 30 days of final inspection.
Okay.
I'll second that.
Second by Bruce. Any further discussion?
Does that
Yeah.
include the old pump house?
No.
No.
You were gonna keep the pump house
Right,
shed.
because there's a
Yeah.
well inside of there and stuff, in the
Yeah.
basement. It's kinda got a root cellar basement with the well and stuff in it. That was the original well and stuff for the house and stuff,
To the property,
to the
actually.
property.
Okay.
Other questions or other comments?
I have one question. Who's responsible to follow through and make sure that motion's,
Leonard?
complete?
The building department will follow
Okay.
up on that.
Any other comments? Hearing none. Trevor?
Aye.
Bruce?
Aye.
Pat?
Aye.
And I'll vote aye.
Thank you.
Do a good job out there.
Thank you.
Oh, we're trying. Thank you
Thanks.
much.
Thanks for coming.
Thank you.
See you guys later.
Yep. Have a good day.
Okay, Leonard, before we adjourn, Leonard has a few things he'd like to talk to us about. So Leonard, I'll just give you the floor and you can explain what you,
Since it's not on the agenda, I would
No.
like to adjourn.
oh, you'd like to adjourn first, that's right.
Yes.
Is there a motion to adjourn? Motion by Pat, second by Trevor. We are adjourned.